Hi, this is Joseph Burton
And this is Linda Burton.
with Fighting to Stay Married. This week's topic is going to be about, is the grass greener on the other side? I always assume that it was specifically a term or a phrase just used for marriage. Okay. But it's more about being envious about something else instead of being satisfied for what you have. And that could be anything.
Being content.
Being content with what you have, I guess, and try to make the most of, your situation.
Well, when you're happy with what you have, then you're going to want to take care of it. And I think that's how you make the grass green, by taking care of it. Watering it, fertilizing it, different things like that.
So, okay. So then I'm thinking, I always like to do a joke like, you know what? The grass may be greener on the other side. Okay. And then you realize when you get over there, it's fake grass.
Okay.
Fake grass is always green. You don't have to water fake grass, but
that's
that's a joke. Yeah, it's fake. Like, oh man, I left what I had and I got fake grass. So, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you water it or you take care of what you have, then it will take care of you, and then you'll find yourself being content with that. But I want to kind of bring this home a little bit. Like, what do you do when actually you are in that situation?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you do when you find yourself actually presently in the situation? You're actually thinking about that.
Okay, so let's bring it home. As of talking about a relationship, husband and wife, that all of a sudden I am admiring what another guy is doing. As a husband or just as a man, I am getting attracted to some of the qualities that he has that you might not have, or that I feel my husband do not have.
Well, yeah, I mean, for you are a touchy person. You like one of your, what they call love languages, and they frame that whatever. But
he's doing quotes right now.
Yeah, I'm doing air quotes because I don't know. Anyway, you like to be touched. Now, say you are out and about and you are looking at this other man really showing his wife affection. He's touching her and it's not leading to sex or anything, right? And you become envious of that.
Okay.
Right? Or maybe it's not another husband. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's a single dude or something else. And you're really becoming envious and your eyes really get set on that. Now you have that struggle within yourself. So now you have to fight yourself to stay married.
That is a hard one. When you see someone, when you feel like you're lacking that, and then you're seeing it, the other side, the other person, the other yard is receiving that, and you feel like that's a need, not a want, but a need, and you're not getting that need at home or on your side. That is really hard. And
but is it a need? Is it really a need, or you just made it, or you can? How do you know that it's a need? Like, how does it? Because you're saying is you need it as if you need water to survive. Because
as in I need air. Yes, there is some needs that we have. My personality type, I need affection.
But why?
It's just like they did the study of babies. More babies lived, newborn babies that was in foster care or in that type of life. A lot of them passed away because they did not get the affection, the touch, the I need that. Now, everybody don't need it as strong as others. Like, you don't need it that much, and your personality type, you like more of having time to yourself, to think, to process. And now I'm talking about your style. But even with that, we have to learn how to compromise to say, babe, I need affection right now. And you have to learn how to say, I need my time alone, my quiet time, my space.
But why I guess I'm trying to be devil's advocate here. How do you know you need that? Are you convincing yourself that you need it? Case in point, what if, you all of a sudden find yourself single and you're not getting that? So if you need it, so why does it that, I need it that I'm married, but if I become single, I don't get it. Do you run out and just go get it from somebody? I mean,
There is some people that feel like they do, but there is some people that figure out other ways to do it, like not in a sexual way, but show more affection or get their affection from their kids or from family members, or just have that interaction of, because the need of affection is not sex. The need of affection is being touched, being hugged, being
so when did you
valued.
So when did you figure out, or when did you realize that you needed that? Like, or when did that concept? Because have you always known when you were like 15, and then 18, and then 20, and then 25, and then your age 30? When did you realize, hey, this is something that makes me feel whole? Like, when did you realize that?
I think that type of need is, we're going into personality types.
Personality types.
Yeah, like what DIS, you know.
DIS.
Yeah, it's you're going into personality types. Of one personality type needs more time alone. Another one needs more. Like one personality type is task oriented. They're focused on what they need to do. Other type is focused on people, of interacting and having to do with people. So I think it's going to personality types. Which one is it? And usually you marry the opposite majority of the time. Not always, but the majority of the time. And that's with us. I am a people person. You're more of a task person. You're a programmer. So you need more. You process and you think more. I'm more spontaneous and more into people and what they think and how they feel and interact that way. So it's the balance of, there's people that are my way, that we love hugging and acknowledging people and showing affection, and then there's other group that don't, that they're okay of not talking to each other for a couple of days and months or years and pick up where they were left off. Now, I'm not saying I'm not like that. I do have people in my life that because I'm busy, that I'm like that with too, but I think now we're talking about personality types.
So then do you think, okay, you're talking about the grass is greener on the side, or the grass is not greener on the side. But so if you go there and decide, say you decide to cross the fence, and now, because I believe that you may get what you want in that specific area, right? You leave this and go get something else, but then you might be short on another thing once you do cross the fence.
I agree with you.
So it's like, do you leave anyway? I mean, what do you leave because of the unknown? Like, okay, yeah, I want affection, I want the need. This person is not giving me the need, so I'm gonna jump the fence and go to the other side. This person give me the need, but now they're not giving me something else,
right,
that I had over there. I mean, like, when does it end? Or I don't know. It's just like,
and it goes back to what the statement really means. Being satisfied of what you have, wanting what you have instead of more than what you have. It really just go down to that, because you're right. If I get somebody that gives me more affection, what am I losing that I have now? So they're going to give me that, but what else do I have or feel like I want that they can't give me? Or even, can I meet their needs? There's a whole nother issue with that at the same time. Some people do make it work. We know a couple of people that got remarried and it worked out for them, you know? But it's that risk.
You still have regrets, but it worked out. I mean, it depends, and I know a lot of situations are different. I mean, there's a bunch of scenarios, abuse and all that. You don't want to be, staying in any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it worked out. But then you may come to a realization, it's like, I really shouldn't have left the other relationship.
Is this a real need that I can do without? Or in our case, how do we compromise with it? There's times that I'm in one room doing my work, you're in another room doing your work, and that's your space for time alone. And then there's other times I come to you like, hey babe, I need affection, and you give it to me and I'm good. It's just learning how to balance it out, because either way it go, you're gonna have that no matter who you're with. And it might not be that same issue, it might be something else that you're trying to figure it out. But it's to the point that you're going to have to try to figure out how to make it work, no matter what relationship you're in. And putting the energy and work into it by fertilizing it, by cutting it, by watering it.
So let's use some real examples then, because I know we always, since we talk about grass is not greener on the other side, and people always go to, okay, what do we use to make grass greener? And they always go water and fertilizer and trimming and all that. So let's give some real life examples. Do you know of any real life examples that acts as a fertilizer, act as water, right? Because the relationship, the grass is supposed to be your yard, where you're at, right? Your life, your career, your marriage, your children, whatever it is. So making the most of that. So spending time developing or those things is the fertilizer. Like, oh, you know what? I don't like my house. Let me fix up my house. That's the fertilizer. That's the watering. Oh, I don't like my kids. I wish my kids. Then, okay, put an effort in. You know, because you could envy somebody else's kids. I mean, you're looking at me strange.
I didn't know where you're gonna go with that.
But you can envy somebody else's kids. Because let's say, let's say you have a child and you wanted them to be this certain thing. Let's just say a football player or something. And then and they don't turn out to be that football player. But then you see your neighbor's child, he's really good at sports or really good at this, and you might not say it, but in your heart of hearts, you can look at it like, oh man, and then you might try to get your child to become more like them. You know what I mean? That's been known to happen.
Okay.
That's envying. That's still envying. Instead of, taking your child for who they are and what their natural bents are, right? And, what they want in life, you try to make them what you see somewhere else.
Okay.
Maybe you wanted your child to be an extension of yourself. Like, oh, I played football and, as an example, I played football and I only went so far. So, many parents try to project that onto their children and for their children to carry that on farther, right? Or you can be envious of somebody. I mean, it happens.
Okay. So what are you suggesting?
It's the whole thing is the grass. On the topic of the broadcast, the grass is not greener on the other side. So we spend time on our side, be content where we are, keep things in perspective, right? And sometimes we need help from other people to do that. Okay. And then build here on your side of the yard.
Now, how does that look when you say build here?
Like the previous example I gave. Like if you don't like your house, instead of envying somebody else's house, make your house what you want it to be. Okay. Don't try to go move into the neighbor's house or spend a lot of time over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You built your house up, okay. When I gave an example about children, I mean, you can't make your son or daughter be something, they might not be interested in football or volleyball or string instruments or whatever, right?
I think you have to realize you're putting your expectations on life or on your children.
Right. So don't be envious. Like, we can't be envious of what's going on the other side of the fence and try to bring that over to our side of the fence, or leaving what you have to go over there and thinking like, okay, you know what? I'll be a father. I mean, this is kind of extreme, but I'll be a father to the other kid.
Or just a fan.
Spending time so much over there that you're neglecting your children at home in that example. You know what I mean?
So it's basically learning to be satisfied what you have and be happy of what you have. I mean, not just satisfied, but be content of what you have. Because once you feel content with it, when you realize what you have, you'll want to take care of it.
Now, how do you be content? Like, how do you get a person? Because a lot of this stuff is easier said than done. Like, how is that practical? How do you make that practical? Be content or be happy with what you have. How do you get to that frame of mind?
Well, we used an example earlier, like if a guy is shows affectionate and that's somebody's love language, well, then he might not do something else or have another problem deeper than that is like, okay, so get to the point of not admiring that person, or realize you might not have that, but you have this. You know, realize that, okay, my husband is not affectionate, but he has this instead, which is more of making me complete, or making us one together. Because I hate saying that it's a man's responsibility to make a woman whole, but just to make our relationship work. Then if I'm attracted to another guy because he's showing affectionate, I need to let that go and realize, how do I get it in my own life and be happy and satisfied and work on that. Put my energy on that instead of my energy of just even taking the time to look and admire that. That's wasted energy and time when I can use to figure out what can I do with what I have now, and spend energy of looking and seeing how can this work, or what is he doing to show me affectionate. Because there's times I feel, oh, that's just, you know, whatever, and I look back later saying, oh no, that was your way of showing me affection.
Because I don't think, because it's like when you say I need this and I need that, it's like, do you really need it? Or how much, you know, maybe you don't need as much of it as you somehow, you know, not tricked yourself, but how talk yourself into this is what you need. Because I think everybody gives affection. It's just that you're comparing something, you know, what you're getting or what you're not getting to what somebody else is doing. And it's like an unfair comparison, because like you said, if you think back, you're like, oh yeah, he did do this, or she did do that, and she did, you know, she did, and he did, you know, you can count. Because I don't think anybody never does anything, and I don't think anybody always does something. You know what I mean?
Well, I had to learn your way of showing affection is different than my way. And my way of showing affection to you is different than what you need. And we had to learn and figure that out of what do you want and what can I give you from what you want. And we had to discuss and figure that out. And it was hard because I want to give you affection the way I want it. But that doesn't mean that's the way you need it. And then I remember it was something simple, just sitting on the couch watching TV with you. You're happy and that's your affection, and you get your need met with that. When I don't have any electronics around me, you get your affection that way. And I need a little more than that, or I need it in a different way than that.
Do you think we've been brainwashed?
I'm not going there.
What? You know, do you think we've been brainwashed? Because we always come up with this, I need this and I need, because a lot of the stuff that we get, how do you know that what's seeping in from the movies, or what's seeping in from books that you read, or what's seeping in from TV shows? How do you know that that's not messing with you somehow? Because now you didn't watch the character on a screen, you know, that you seem like, oh, I can relate to that person, but we forget it's a movie. So how do you know that you're not subconsciously feeding from a script?
Honestly, I think you might be partly right with that.
Brainwashed.
I think we could see something on television and I see the reaction of what he's doing and how she's acting, and I want that feeling too.
Yeah, but see, it's like, how do you know it's real though? So how do you know what you're feeling and what you're needing is real?
Okay, I think it really comes down to you know what you want, you know what you feel inside. Now, we can throw each other off sometimes of realize we don't want as much, like I need a soda or I need this, you know, a craving. You can, you know, have to deal with that.
I don't know.
You're so funny.
I don't know now.
There's one thing I do want to say about when people say it's the grass green on the other side. We didn't really talk about, I mean, we did a little bit about watering it, but I still feel like there's a season, and different seasons is different things that you do to take care of your yard. It's not doing the same thing, because then it become a routine and it's not really taking care of it. You're just doing a routine, you know.
Or automatic.
Yeah, every Friday I bring home flowers or whatever it may be, and I use the example. think got deleted. I used the example of winter time. You do different. I noticed you treat the yard different than you do for summer. Winter time, you don't put as much water on there than you do in the summer. And then also fertilizer, you do that certain seasons. You don't do that year round. And certain times you do other things. So I don't want to say, okay, you know, it's a routine. It's maintenance, but the maintenance is taking the time to see where is the brown spots and what does this area need. Not just, you know what I mean, take care of the whole thing like one big thing and make it a routine, not actually putting work in your relationship. Why does this person want affection now? Why do this person need space now? What's going on? Why do this person, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you're thinking about in their head. We're talking about the person that are actually looking over at the fence, wanting to jump the fence and go over there. What I hear you saying is the way I understood what you're saying just now is that I should be. Say you're looking over the fence and wanting to jump the fence and go into the other yard because the grass is green, because you think the grass is green over there, that I should be looking out like, is Linda looking at the fence? Is she gonna jump on over? I mean, that's why that's what I thought that you were saying.
What I'm saying. What I'm saying is, for me, I need to stop looking at the other yards and start looking in my yard and see where is my brown spots, where is my holes from the gophers, where is all that stuff at, so I can fix it. Am I watering this part too much that is muddy, and why? You know, instead of looking, don't even waste your time looking, because when you get over there, you have no idea what you're getting into. You don't know if it's fake, you don't know if it's weeds, you don't know if it's poop, you don't know if it's a mud pile underneath it or even quicksand, or it might be great and wonderful, but is it worth the risk? You know what I mean? And how much more maintenance do that yard requires when you know this one? Now, if this one is damaging to your health or anything like that, that's totally different. But if it's just general things of my preference, then maybe I should talk to my partner and re-look at this grass and see how can we maintain this, than worrying and spending my time and energy looking over there. And I think too many people are trying to slowly flirt and entertain the other color's grass and watering it and doing different things just a little bit by flirtation and stuff to keep it green, instead of and not looking behind you and see your grass is dying. And there's a fence and I'm sticking I'm on my yard, I'm in my yard.
Yeah.
But I have my arm over the fence pouring water, watering that grass, and mine is dying. That's what I picture.
Yeah.
And my back is facing, entertaining, keeping my eyes on the other grass instead of looking at mine, realizing mine need water too.
Gotcha.
Or mine need water. So that's what I picture. And too many people do that by flirting and doing little things, you know, of entertaining that, and then not at home. I should laugh and have more excitement with my spouse than I do with anybody else, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you fight. Familiarity breeds contempt. Remember, hear that? So, I mean, it's a lot of fighting. It's a lot of things that you have to consider. So it's a big one, right?
Yeah.
And you know, this week's episode we went longer than we normally do, but it's a lot to unpack. A lot to talk about, but we're going to wrap it up here. So if you have any questions, if you disagree or agree with anything we said, you know, leave a comment, reach out, and we can talk about it more. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like us, and if you don't have anything else, that'll be it.
And if you have a suggestion for a topic, you can email us at.
Why you put me on the spot? You don't remember the email? Fighting to stay married @gmail.com.
Yes.
I'm leaving that in too.
You can email us at fightingtostaymarried Wait, did I say that right?
Oh,
you can email us at
Fighting to Stay Married at.
I got it. You can wait.
You don't have to keep saying it. I think they got it now. Fighting to Stay Married at gmail.com.
Yes, you can email us for topics for Fighting to Stay Married at gmail.com.
You just wanted to say it.
No.
We'll talk to you guys next time.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.